Hello guys, welcome to the finale of my Halloween reviews. We've reviewed Halloween 1978, Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and now finally we are at Halloween Ends. Once again directed by David Gordon Green, starring Jamie Lee Curtis, James Jude Courtney, Rowan Campbell and Andy Matichak, and what is hopefully the finale of the Halloween franchise. A babysitter in 2019 called Corey accidentally kills the person he's babysitting after he plays a Halloween prank on him. 3 years later, the town of Haddonfield views him as a psycho and a monster, but Laurie's granddaughter sees him as a real person and starts to fall in love with him. But soon he gets consumed by Michael Myers' evil, and he starts having a mental rampage along Haddonfield to people who treated him wrong. Now, judging from the reviews, I just was not looking forward to this movie, but I am a big Halloween fan, so I might as well get this franchise over and done with. And I walked out the cinema last night, and I was just shocked and just kind of disgusted about what I watched, because this is not the end I wanted for this franchise. But before I get onto a rant, this isn't really a review, this is more of a rant. I'm going to get into the positives first, because this film just has some positives. First off, the performances. No one here is doing a bad job. Jamie Lee Curtis, she's great as Laurie Strode, and it is such a shame that she bows out in this way, because she's so good in this film. I also think Rowan Campbell, who does play Corey, the main babysitter of the film, did do a pretty good job. I think he did okay with what he was given with, even though his writing was absolutely appalling. He doesn't really have any chemistry with Andy Matichak, who plays Laurie's granddaughter, and I'll get into that side of the romance in a bit. The final 15 minutes of the film, which is pretty much what I paid to see, is the best part of this movie. And spoilers, by the way, I'm going to get into spoilers because I really don't think this film is that great, and I don't think people should see it, but Laurie versus Michael, that's what the whole marketing campaign was. And finally, after many years, Michael Myers is finally dead for good. He's been shredded. So he is dead now, thankfully. And that ending is satisfying. She's finally killed her Boogeyman, which is really good, even though it went a bit too quick, which I'll again get into in a bit. The direction, just like Halloween Kills and the 2018 Halloween, is also really good. There's some nice shots in this movie, especially towards the end of the movie. So I'll give the director a bit of credit for his camera work and his direction of the film. And finally, the kills in this are also pretty cruel. There was some very gruesome kills, like a welder being welded into this guy's mouth, and this radio DJ's tongue getting cut off, and then his tongue's on the vinyl and it keeps skipping the needle. That was really creative, and I did like that. But all these positives seem like just bonus features to what is a mindless, brain-dead film. Because this finale is pretty much an hour and a half of filler, and then the last 15 minutes is what you paid for. This film reminded me of The Rise of Skywalker, where the previous film left on a cliffhanger and the writers went, oh, well, we don't know what to do to make sure Rey's a Jedi and she earns the name of Skywalker. Let's just bring back Palpatine. In this one, though, they say, oh, we've got to make sure that the final fight is there at the end, but how do we lead up to it? So let's just throw in this random character. Now, I'll be honest, I did like the Corey storyline. But why are we introducing new characters into the final film of this new trilogy? I would have preferred it if this character was introduced in Halloween Kills. I'm not the fan of Halloween Kills, but if they set that up in that film and concluded it in this film, I may have liked it more. Pretty much, Corey's storyline is he was babysitting a boy in 2019 who he accidentally killed, and now the town of Haddonfield just turns against him. Now, that's understandable. It shows that everyone in Haddonfield is treating him like a psycho, a monster, when he didn't mean it. But he finds Michael Myers, and probably the dumbest scene in the movie happens where Michael, possesses him or something. He transforms him into evil. What is this? A little trade? Oh, you seem like a nice guy to send my evil to. Let me give you some of my evil. What? That's just so dumb. What? That just baffled me beyond belief, and it just made it laughable. But nothing is more laughably written than the romance between Corey and Laurie's granddaughter. Because Laurie's granddaughter just gets turned on by him the moment she lays eyes on him. Like, there's no build up towards the romance. Again, if this was set up in Halloween Kills, I probably would have liked it more. And what really angered me is that Corey gets killed by Laurie an hour and a half in, just so we can get to the proper Michael Myers versus Laurie fight. And while the fight is cool, it lasts way too quick. And this is a overarching problem with this film. It feels way too quick, but it also feels super boring. The first hour and a half, I just wanted to leave because I was falling asleep. I did not care about this storyline. Again, it felt like mindless filler just so we could get to the final fight at the end. And can I just say, Michael Myers is character assassinated in this film. He is now a bumbling homeless hermit. There's a scene in like the middle of the film where Corey lures this guy into the sewer where Michael's hiding, and then Michael gets pretty beaten up, if we're being honest. By the way, he has his mask on, so he should be pretty powerful. But when he goes to try and kill this guy, he's oh. And it made him so unintimidating. And the problem is that we've just come over desensitized to Michael Myers now. Like, I've seen him so much to the point where he's not even that scary. The film isn't that scary, if I'm being honest. Even the jump scares, which they did get me, but they drain the tension so much. And Michael Myers is hardly in this film. I'd say at best, he's in this film for about 5 minutes. Because Corey, about the start of the third act, takes his mask and he goes around acting like Michael Myers. And then when Laurie kills him, Michael just shows out of nowhere, may I add. Like, he has no real reason to be here. Gets his mask, and then Laurie and Michael fight. It made no sense. Another problem which I have not seen many people talk about is the sound mixing. Because there's this scene where Laurie's granddaughter and Corey are dancing in this club. And, you know, it's a fine scene because Corey is finally actually feeling free of all this pain and hurt. And again, if it was built up well, I probably would have liked it. But I could understand why that scene was there. It would have worked well. But the sound mixing was awful. Because I could literally not tell what people were saying. He finds the mother of the son that he accidentally killed. I legit had no idea what she was saying because you have this whole club music banging out of the speakers and you could just not tell what she was saying. It was so quiet. Bearing in mind, I watched this in the cinema where it's supposed to be nice and loud and I can hear everything. For me, Halloween Ends is not the worst film of the year, but it's the most disappointing and a film really that's kind of pissed me off because this franchise has been going on for 40 years, loved by many, and then you have the chance to introduce this new timeline and end this saga on a satisfying, emotional note. You set it up in Halloween Kills, and you throw it all away with 90 minutes of filler, which should have been added into the previous movie, and then you finish it off with 15 minutes of conclusion. I basically paid 10 quid to watch 90 minutes of world building stuff and then a 15-minute short. That's what I paid for. It's so depressing that this is the final time we will see Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode. Because she is the best final girl in horror history to me. And to see what these writers have done and how they've ended this saga just shows me that maybe it's time to put this franchise to bed. It should have ended at Halloween 2 in 1980. That's what should have happened. But no, money talks. And that is, unfortunately, the film industry today. Where, oh, we left the last film on a cliffhanger. We got to make sure we make it a trilogy. So let's just throw in a random plot line and then we'll give them what they want at the end. You know, you base your whole marketing campaign on the final stand for Laurie versus Michael. And that lasts 15 minutes. So, for me, I don't want any more Halloween stuff. I'm never going to watch this film again, I think. I'll probably watch Halloween Kills and Halloween 2018, but I probably won't watch them now, knowing how this concludes. And if anything, it kind of makes me dislike the original Halloween even more. Halloween Ends does have strong performances. It's shot well. There's some cool kills. The music still is great. You know, the music's great. And the final 15 minutes is really rushed, but at least satisfying. But it is 90 minutes of pure filler. It's boring. Michael Myers is just character assassinated in this film. He's been turned into an old hermit that can't even stand up for a cookie. It's just so upsetting to see that Jamie Lee Curtis is saying goodbye to this franchise that made her a superstar on this piece of garbage that I just watched. Halloween Ends is the most disappointing film of the year for me. And I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 10. And for me, that's generous. In fact, I'm very close to bringing it down lower. But I'm just trying to remain a little bit positive because I've been ranting, my voice is going. So yeah, this really did pee me off a bit last night. So if I'm being honest, as I said, don't watch this film in cinema. See it on Peacock. But guys, that is it for the end of this mini-series of my Halloween reviews. Next time we're going to be reviewing She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, and then probably Black Adam, which I'm actually quite excited for. But I hope you all enjoyed this little mini-series and this video, aka a rant. Have a good day, and see you later.